Hello, everyone, and welcome to That's Tifa Podcast. My name is Montavia Williams, and I am bringing to you a safe space with Tifa Conversations. Today, I have someone that means so much to me, and she don't even know it, y'all. Like, that's how crazy it is. She don't know it, but I love her to death, and I'm going to let her introduce herself.
Well, my name is Mona, and I'm short and fine. Every man come my way, he wanna be mine. No, no. My name is Mona Mays, and I kind of like pausing it because I'm newly divorced.
Okay.
So I'm Mona Mays. I'm born and raised here in Houston, Texas. I am a mother of two grown kids, and I have a little grandbaby right now. But yeah, I am a project manager. I've been in that field for over 20 years now, and I'm just living and discovering life.
Yeah.
I am a mentor of young adults, which that's my first love, my first ministry, and that's it.
That's what it is.
That's what it is.
Well, before we start, I want to let everyone know why you mean so much to me. It was a time where I was in a dark place, and Ania, she always invited me to the breakfast prayer.
Oh yeah, the prayer
breakfast,
breakfast.
yeah, the prayer breakfast that you had at your home,
Mhm.
and that prayer breakfast actually helped me a lot because I was able to get back closer to God and start my journey with Him, my walk with Him. So I enjoyed it. And then after prayer breakfast, we went to Bible study on
Yeah.
Wednesdays. Y'all, they stayed so far. I was making a drive. I didn't care. I was on the
Wow.
way. And the chicken and waffles was slamming. Chicken and waffles was slamming. So they added on. Added on to the reason
And the
why I was
fact that
going
you came early in the morning too. 'cause
Yeah, it was early, and
Yeah.
I'm way on the south side. Y'all was way on the north side.
Wow.
But you actually helped me build my relationship and get back closer to God. I was going to church a lot as a kid, but towards high school and college, you know, we stop, we
Yeah,
take that
drift
pause.
away a little
Yeah, but you got me right back on track.
Okay.
And I just want to thank you so much for that.
Man, that means a lot to me because that's my mission to help bridge the gap from a kid to an adult because I didn't make it, that way. So I didn't want the next generation to miss it. So.
Got you. I love that. So tell us about Mona and where and how you were raised.
Wow, I was raised right, but I was definitely a rebel. That's just what it was. I was raised the Southern way, where you learned how to cook early, learn how to clean, how to keep house early, how to be very respectful. The very Southern way is how I was raised, with mom and dad in the house, or whatever. But I was raised to be respectful, not necessarily in the church, but with good morals, so that foundation of that. When I got older, around teens, I think I lost my mom. She was murdered when I was like 19 years old. And from there, I started just doing my own thing. I knew the right thing to do, but then I just started going downhill. I mean, we get in trouble. That's when I started getting exposed to like Harris County, knowing what that's about. And I was like, I got to get my life together because the fact that I was okay with going to jail, and that's, kind of what helped my mind as far as adapting to young adults, how people get into a space and they just need somebody to help reel them back in.
Right.
And that's when I started getting introduced to church, and people always have loved me, but there was that gap where I was completely lost. I was raised right, got lost, find out who God was, and then my life, just took a rise from there.
Right. And that was my next question. After losing your mom at a young age, how was you able to handle grief?
Not the right way, with anger. I used to, my defense mechanism is the loud Mona, the have fun Mona. But when you go back home, I will still have to deal with that person, the one that's
The
crying
hurt,
on the inside, that nobody sees that part.
Mhm.
And I was like, I cannot live my life alone. I can't do life by myself, so I was good because I'm an introvert. I was good with just having fun on the outside so that people couldn't see that it was a mask. and not deal with what I was dealing with.
Mhm.
But I was like, I need friends.
Yeah.
I need God, I need friends, and I just need somebody there in my corner to get through it. And it wasn't until I showed myself friendly
Mhm.
in my inner circle versus just being the outside face where everybody had fun. But yeah, grief was not easy. That's when I started getting in trouble. I
Yeah.
started fighting. I started just being a mean girl, you
Mhm.
know, just on purpose, again, just to mask it. So I would mask my pain
Mhm.
and not deal with my grief.
Yeah.
And that's what I did. But when I found, like I said, God, and when I found true friends,
Mhm.
you know, that people that helped me, people that wasn't afraid to tell me, you acting like a wank right now.
Yeah.
You know, just somebody to help guide me through that way. And then I didn't start dealing with grief maybe until like 15 years after she had already passed away.
Mhm.
So, like I said, I had a bunch of people that I had to go back and apologize to, but grief would have you acting out
Yeah.
in ways. But it make me respect people that act out in certain ways too.
Mhm.
That really, I was like, it's something behind that. They only
Yeah.
acting out.
Why they?
You
Yeah.
know, that ain't really them. That's just
Mhm.
a cover up because I masked it for so long. So I
Right.
would advise anybody to get therapy, to
Mhm.
to get help. Get you people in your corner that's your safe place.
Yeah.
That they can not only laugh with you and party with you, but they can cry with you. They can tell you the truth and they can pray with you.
Mhm.
And therapy, I didn't get that until maybe like 5 years ago, and I still had to deal with stuff that I masked for so long.
Yeah.
So it's a process to it,
Mhm.
but if I could tell anybody up front, deal with it while it's fresh,
Right.
but if you don't, just get people in your corner that can kind of help, maneuver you through grief.
And I'm glad we're on the grief topic because in our generation, a lot of
Mhm.
people don't know how to handle
Yeah.
grief.
Yeah.
And I was one of those people because grief used to hit me at weird times.
Yeah.
Like on the way
It's
to
random.
on the way to work when I was teaching, I'm in the car boohoo crying.
Yeah.
Small things reminded me of my dad that made
Yeah.
it even worse. I'm in McDonald's ordering the same meal we've been ordering since
Yeah.
kids, and
Yeah.
I'm crying. I'm like, okay, how can I stop this? How
Yeah.
can I fix this?
Yeah.
But then I realized, let me just cry it out, get it
Mhm.
out my system,
Yeah.
so that way I don't have to keep going over it and over again. It was hard, but I started getting used to it, and then after crying, I started asking God for strength.
Wow.
That's something I really had to ask him
So you
for.
grew up in a church?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I had to ask him for strength
Mhm.
because I'm like, on the way to, I got kids to teach in front
Yeah.
of. And like
Yeah.
you said, a
Yeah.
mask. I had to
Yeah.
put on a mask in front of
Mhm.
these
Yeah.
kids going through way worse than me. So I
Yeah.
got to pick them up when
Yeah.
I'm not even all the way up
Yeah.
with myself. And then I have a little brother who lost his dad at a young age, and not it was been 2 years now, and he didn't know how to handle grief.
Yeah.
And we started seeing his actions and how he was handling
Mhm.
it, which wasn't in the right way, like you said. But
Right.
now he see, it's a positive way to handle grief as
Yeah.
well.
It is.
So I'm glad we talked about that. Next question is, when did you realize, which I feel like we just stated that, but
Mhm.
when did you realize it was time to actually get close with God?
I tried every way.
Mm-hmm.
I tried like I said, the being mean, the being aggressive, and it's amazing how hurt people really do hurt
Hurt people,
people.
yeah.
That is a real thing. And I was like, again, after you do the acting out, after you do all of that, you still have to deal with that person. There's
Mm-hmm.
always going to be times when you're by yourself.
Yeah.
And I was like, nothing else is working. And I remember I was sitting in Harris County Jail one time, and I sat there and I was like, God, I don't know the ins and outs of this. I don't even know how this is going to turn out, but I need help.
Right.
And I don't just need help getting out of here,
With
but
myself.
I need
inside.
help mentally. I
Mhm.
need help in my heart because
Mhm.
I don't want to keep my life to
Yeah.
keep, spiraling into this that can end in something bad. And I was like, I just need you to show me. And I heard his voice, and I didn't know it was his voice. He was like, this girl was singing My Redeemer Lives or something like that, a girl that was on the side of me. And he let me know from that day, I am your redeemer. And I need you to hold on to that. You may not know all the scriptures right now. You may not know all of the ins and outs. But when I had that encounter by faith, believe that it got to be a higher power. It got to be something else, because this is not the way.
Right.
Because all of my ways kept ending into like a brick wall. So from that day on, you know, I started, you know, slowly but surely getting myself together. But I knew then when my back was against the wall, I can't keep doing this.
Yeah.
And we all get those nudges to where enough is enough. Or you can't keep doing it. You can feel it on the inside of you, even if you don't take that initiative to do something different right then. But that particular nudge, you know, I took it to heart, and I was like, I got to do something different.
Right.
And it got to be help outside of me. Yeah.
And how, because you were in and out while you had a child, right? Or was that before or after you had?
Well, that was just like little petty stuff, but then that was tickets. She gonna pay for her tickets and all of that.
Got you, because I was gonna ask you, how did that feel?
But I remember a time where both my kids were born, and Neil was like 3 and Demontre was 1. And I remember, like I said, it wasn't nothing but God. Like, he kept my kids, because I was still like out there trying to rob, trying to do all this. People, even when I was, nobody could really tell that was her. Like, that was her life. But I was for the last time, I was in Harris County Jail again. And this time they was really trying to give me some time. And I was like, I don't want nobody else to raise my kids.
Right.
I don't want nobody else to raise my kids. I done took this too far. And something God, you know, worked this thing out. And I ended up doing 90 days in Harris County Jail. And I was like, I was so used to getting off, like, no matter what, didn't care. And I was like, when that judge was like, I gotta sit where?
Right. For how long?
I gotta do what? I said, I'm gonna go to sleep on this, and then when I wake up in the morning, I know that this is not what he said or what she said. But just so happened, God made it to where my original judge wasn't there, and it was a substitute judge. My judge wanted to throw the book at me. The substitute judge had grace.
Yeah.
And so
look at God.
90 days, I had to do 90 days. But like I said, I was in denial the first week. I said, I ain't taking my shoes off. I ain't taking no bath. I don't know what y'all gonna sleep for. I'm gonna sit up and I'm just gonna wait, because y'all not finna lock me up. I got anxiety. What is going on? So I woke up the next day, and I ain't gotta eat. I'm going home. I was just in denial. And then I had to register. Girl, you finna be here.
Yeah.
Chill out. Call your grandmother. Ask her to put $100 on your book so you can get your perm. That's when I used to get perm. Get your perm. Get you some snacks, a little T-shirts, because you finna be here.
Yeah.
And I was at the end of my 90 days. And my aunt brought my kids.
To see you.
To see me. I had begged her the whole time, don't bring my kids up here.
Yeah.
I don't want them to see this. And she brought her anyway, and she brought her on Mother's Day. Now, my mother was murdered on Mother's Day. These are tragic, different things. She brought my daughter up there to see me on Mother's Day. I think I had maybe like 3 or 4 days left in Harris County. And I saw my baby on the other side of that glass, and she was like, it was like a movie. It's like she was reaching for me like, Mama, please, I want you. I realized I want you. Girl, it felt like my soul left my body.
Yeah.
I said that day I changed my life forever. I was traumatized by it when I got out, because that's the thing I needed to see, because nothing else was changing. And God was like, I'm going to let the very thing that you love, you're going to have to stare that thing in the face. And she begged for me. And when she did that, those 4 days that I had left felt longer than the 84 days that I had already done. And girl, that changed my life. But to this, every blue moon, I get the glimpse of that, and I said, I just need to change my life. So my kids were born, but when I tell you, I changed my life instantly. I immediately started not only just drawing closer to God, but I just started getting my education outside of high school. I started looking for jobs. God gave me another chance. He said that you've already lived this, you've already worked the underpaid jobs, because of what you've experienced. It was hard for you to get a job at first, but now I want you to start applying for jobs that you don't qualify for.
Right.
He told me to do that. And when I did that, I was like, but my background, if God tell you to do something, he already got that part worked out. And he began to open doors for me. And I would apply for jobs, and I didn't get discouraged because the applications, when I would apply for the jobs, some of them would say, well, if you don't have a bachelor's degree or a master's, it would kick you out of the application.
Yeah, the requirements.
So it would kick me out the application. But in my head, I was like, well, this ain't the one.
Yeah.
This is not the one. And so I kept applying. Girl, when God opened that door for me, when I was able to start going on real interviews, I'm telling you, it took me to change me first.
Yourself, yeah.
And then God started changing everything around me. But that was very traumatic for me for my kids to actually see me in that state. And my life has not been the same since then.
I love that.
Yeah, I have not.
And it's so true that people do not look like what they have gone through. Because, baby, I wouldn't have never known. You lied. They won't let me out.
They was not trying to let me out. But I did have favor. Let me tell you something. I'm going to tell you this little thing. My anxiety was so bad. That's before people was calling it anxiety and all that.
Yeah.
I was like, they can't lock these doors on me. They cannot lock these doors. I got favor with the ward, and she would let me crack it, like not lock it on me. I said, God is really trying to show my little stupid self
that he got
I'm with you in this. You got to walk through this, but I'm with you in this. And baby, I said, because they was like, this won't happen for nobody.
Right.
When it's time to lock down, it's time to lock down. So God was with me throughout the entire process. But yeah, I don't look like what I've been through.
Yeah,
out here thugging in these streets.
So, having a daughter, how can I put this question? Having a daughter, growing up until her, her adult life. I don't want to say how did you picture her life, but how did you want her to be different from you?
I was hard on her because I wanted her to miss it. I didn't want her to miss it. In so many ways, what I do understand, experience don't have to be the best teacher. And the way that I taught them, the way that I taught her first is that I'm not telling you what I heard. I'm telling you what
I've been through, yeah.
And from day one, I shared all my experiences. I shared from relationship, from childhood, from rebellion, from credit, I shared it all with her, because if you just try to tell a child what to do,
one ear.
it's in one ear, out the other.
Yeah.
But when they used to hear my stories like it was from Lifetime or something, like a movie.
Interesting.
It was like First 48, they love for real. But she grasped it. I think one time she may have rebelled, something relationship-wise, and when she got that heart broken that one time, baby, I'm calling my mama for every single thing because she don't miss. And not only that, she had an in-house minister. She had somebody that not only can just see her as in a natural aspect, but even in the spiritual aspect. So, I mean, from early on, we would fast. From early on, we would pray together. But I taught her those life lessons, by transitioning from mama to a little kid to learning how to mother adult children.
Okay, I like that. So, I had this problem, so I'm gonna ask you this question because I hear a lot of people say it's hard trying to find a church home. So, have you gone through that, or have you been going to the same church for a long time?
Girl, that's why I can identify on so many different levels, because I was the type of rebel that, okay, everybody in here fake anyway. Why we here?
Right.
When I first started going to church, I was going, if I could be completely honest, God, I need you to get me out of something. But then when my life turned around, I'm an observant person.
Yeah.
I'll sit back and God will let you know, where you're supposed to be rooted. So at the time when I was married, I started going to, they home church. but it didn't like really like register to me. So one thing I did learn is that you can't eat at a whole bunch of tables.
Right.
You have to learn that no matter what church that you attempt to fellowship at, you gotta grow into that. Just like when you get a new job, you have to grow
into
in that company. It's not, you don't get it off the first thing. And then what we have to understand that when we're looking for church homes, you're not ultimately going there for the pastor or the people.
Right.
So don't believe the hype.
Yeah.
Everybody is human, but they are representatives of God. You ask God for discernment in that way, but you go expecting to hear from God. And when you go expecting to hear from God, he'll let you know this is the one.
Yeah.
You'll get that unctioning on the inside to where you'll go out your way to make the service. Midweek, if you're going out of your way or whatever, you'll know. So if you go with the expectation of God, hearing from God and not just the hype of ministry. Because in this day and time, once the hype die down, then people look for another church. Oh, it's boring now.
Yeah.
Oh, this ain't it. Okay. The main pastor ain't preach, the last 3 Sundays or whatever. Okay. So, but just the hype itself. No.
Yeah.
Because if you're not growing, if you don't have this eagerness to be there, that's not the one. But God will let you know where you need to plant your feet.
Right. Because for me, growing up, we have a home church in South Park called Paradise Missionary Baptist Church, and we was going there my whole childhood. My mom went there as a kid and all that. So when I started back getting into church as an adult, I started going to Wheeler and Third Ward.
Okay.
In Wheeler and Third Ward, that's the popular church. Everybody go there in Third Ward. So I actually enjoyed going there, but I always compare it to my mom's side and my dad's side cooking. My dad's side, we gonna snack, we gonna eat hot dogs, nacho. I'm eating, but I'm not getting fed.
Yeah, I get
so at Lighthouse, I'm at my mama's side.
Okay.
I got the oxtails, the rice and gravy. I'm getting fed to my soul.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay,
you want more.
Yeah, and like you say, going out your way to get to that place. That's how I was with Lighthouse. I still stay on the south side, driving way to Humble to church just to get fed. And then I also started seeing my actions become different, because at Wheeler, I wasn't really active in church, getting up, standing up, clapping, holding my hands up. But at Lighthouse, I'm up the whole service. I'm involved the whole service. I'm happy. I'm walking down the aisle to get prayer from the prayer people. Like, I'm actually involved with this church. So I was like, this is for me. I'm not finna just stick with Wheeler because I see my homegirls. It's convenient.
You can't.
Yeah, it's convenient.
I'm the type, though, I had to, because of my background, I had to be seen. Not saying that God sees me, but I had to adjust. I had to go to something smaller because I needed accountability. I was not raised in the church. I need somebody to, hey, at the time when I was a babe in Christ, check on Mona, this type of thing or whatever. That's not for everybody, but like I said, you'll know where your feet is supposed to be planted. And you did not base that off of who go where.
Right.
You stuck with what works for you. Yeah.
Yeah, because I was watching him. I was watching Lighthouse on YouTube, on YouTube. And I was like actually still getting the word and like, okay, this man talking, this man getting to me, I can relate. And that's something I enjoy too, when a preacher breaks something down that I can understand. Yeah, something relatable. Don't just throw me no scripture and then go to
and you can't apply it to right now.
To this. No, I need something else. So let's go ahead and see, how are you able to balance Miss Hot Girl Mona and Holy Mona?
I can't believe you said that.
Hot girl, I be seeing you.
Well, okay. Let me tell you, my Holy Ghost still work. And some tell me on my show, okay, pipe down some. But I don't, I don't allow, what, I guess I will put it like, I don't allow what people consider like religious or Christ-like or whatever, to project on me what Christianity looks like.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Like, no. Like, I guess it's this thing going on, say, I'm going to put it on. Because I'm going to put it on. I'm gonna put it on. Because the thing about it is, God, I'm just a firm believer. He searches the heart. I know how much is too much, but let me tell you something. If I like it, if I'm not convicted by it, then I'm wearing it, or I'm doing it. I know how to have fun because there are different things. There's a scripture that says it's not what goes into your mouth that defiles a person, but it what comes out. People have so much stuff embedded and rooted, and hatred and jealousy and envy and all these malicious type things hidden on the inside of them, and they look like church. Then some of the most genuine people, the most loving people, the ones that's out there like really living this Christian life. Now God will change some stuff up about you, and I done came a long way because I have been tapped on the shoulder by the mothers. You need a safety pill, you need, all of this. But yeah, I mean, I just have that balance. I love being sexy, and I'm still saved. I'm still saved. I love keeping myself together, but like I said, I have the Holy Ghost. He taps me on the shoulder when need be. So if he tell me, Moni, you need to put a skirt onto your feet because I know it's worse than I do it, but I'm gonna find a way to make it bad.
Right.
But it's not so much what a person tried to say. Hey, you need to pipe down. Hey, you need to, do this and do that. But yeah, I have balance.
I love it because I love hot girl Mona, baby.
I'm hot girl Mona, baby. Let me tell you. So, yeah. So people know I love God. People know, and I reach who I need to reach. My crowd is young adults, and I need to be relatable to them. I'm their safe place. They see me, and they know my story. They know how I live life. They know I love God. They know I know the Word, and they know I'm gonna put it on.
You showing them that hey, we can balance this thing out.
It can be balanced.
I love that. So God has been in the neighborhood on your side. He's been in the neighborhood. I've seen that your brother, he's been released.
Girl, you have no idea.
I've seen he's been released in I don't know what I don't want to say grandma. I don't know because they changed the names.
I told him, I was like, look, when it comes to this baby, when your son gets here, because I have not accepted grandmother. When your son gets here, he can just go ahead and call me Riri. Like, Riri is because my middle name is Marie. And I was like, he can just call me Riri, whatever. But the more I'm around, I'm like, he can call me grandmother. He the only one that can consider me an old lady. He can call me grandmother because I really, really love him. I am super excited with my brother being home.
I could tell. I see it.
I only had one prayer the whole 12 and a half years he's been gone. And that one prayer was, God, even if he has to walk this thing out, but please, my only prayer is let him make parole the first time. And what he was dealing with, it's very uncommon. He was the one out of so many years to even make parole the first time and for his release to be as quick as it was. So I bless God for that, So I'm right now I'm happy.
I know. I trust me.
I'm happy.
I tapped through your Instagram. I was like that, like I feel emotional. I was like, man, that's amazing. And to see other people happy, that is amazing.
I'm loving it.
And I saw when you all surprised him with his son playing basketball.
I did.
That's what I'm saying. God is over there.
Together. I was like, girl, I need to be a director.
Like God is really in your neighborhood. I'm ready to be a neighbor.
Turning my son around. Just dealing with just like different stuff, even with my whole transition in life. God is definitely on my side.
Right. So after, because you mentioned your divorce. So after your divorce, I'm sorry. How was the feeling? Because I know some people be happy when they get divorced. Some people, it's a lot for them to handle.
Girl, you're gonna have a bunch of mixed emotions. I've always been that tough one. The one to tell my girlfriends, dry it up. Stop crying over everything. Get yourself together. Girl, you bad. Girl, bounce back. Girl, this, that, and the third. But when you've been with somebody as long as you have, because marriage is it's not meant to be separated.
Right.
When they do the sand thing and you will spend your lifetime trying to separate whatever colors you black and white. You'll spend the rest of your life trying to separate that once it's all poured in together. So it feels like a death. You have your days, you have your emotions. But at the end of the day, when you do what's best for you, when you love yourself enough to care more about your health, your mental health, and all of that, God will give you your release when it's time. He didn't give it to me right off the bat because that wasn't the first time I tried to get away. But I was trying to get away for the wrong reason. Girl, I got married too young. I was trying to be outside.
Right.
No, but I knew I was made to be a wife, and God taught me how to be one, and it was hard. I think the first when I first moved out, when I left everything. I didn't take absolutely nothing. I walked away from the finances. I walked away from the big house. I walked away from all of that. And I said, for my peace, I'm doing this.
Right.
And I don't need nothing. God, it's enough to start all over again. And that's exactly what happened. I started over again. I got my little girl pad and I loved it, you know. And then I remember the first night that I stayed there and I broke down and I cried. And I never cried like that again. Once I released it that one time, that was it. I do have my moments where I feel like I'm starting all over again, like a pre-K first day at school. But girl, the joy that I have is what allows me to keep putting one foot in front of the other. You know, the hatred is gone, the anger is gone. What I felt like I lost is gone.
It's a lot. It's
because
a relief.
It's relief. It's relief. And like I say, it's not easy. It's not easy, but I am at peace and I'm loving my life. And I'm taking it one day at a time, and God continues to provide, you know, all of that. Yeah. So people would never understand. I think the hardest thing about divorce is the ones that are private.
Yeah.
And when your life, when so many people that may know you, you know, or know y'all as a couple or whatever the case may be, it can get ugly, you know, but I'm private. I don't like to have to explain. You know, I went through the whole therapy and everything. So I felt like my life was put on the spotlight. And I had to deal with that more of shame, of I hate my business being out there in the street. So I dealt with that for a little while, but girl, once you tune all that out and just live and you don't have no hidden motives, you don't wish nothing bad on nobody else, you can't do nothing but thrive. And when I look in the mirror now, I like what I see.
Period.
Beyond this, I like what I see here. I like what I see in my mind. I'm loving me in this season.
And I'm so glad we on this topic because somebody who's watching this needs to hear that because some people, they will stay in not only just a relationship, but a marriage just because they don't want to prove the outsiders right or have to hear what other people have to say because they thought y'all was a perfect couple of what you put out on social media. And it is okay because they not living your life.
Or they stay for the wrong reason.
Right, that too.
To be comfortable
financially,
all of that. And I was like, God, but I'm writing on this paper don't add up with what I'm trying to live and do.
Yeah.
So you gonna have to make up the difference. And I'm trusting you because I don't want to stay for the wrong reason.
Right.
Life is too short.
Yeah.
I want my health. I want to be happy, and I want my kids to live in a happy. I want them to see their mama happy. So I am enjoying my life. I don't regret my decision, and I'm happy. I am.
So, Miss Hot Girl Mona, I said Miss, I'm sorry, Hot Girl Mona, baby. So, are you? Because the divorce is fresh still, right?
Yeah, it is. I left a year ago, but the divorce, maybe like 6 months now.
Because I was going to say, have some tenders been trying to get at you, honey?
Baby, let me tell you something. You know what? I had to pipe that down early because I never put out that I was divorced. You know, people read what they want to read. Yeah. Oh, she outside. Oh, she doing this. Oh, sis, you know, she always by herself now, this, that, and the third. And actually, I was doing everything I could to kind of try to stay back. You know, if I go to the gym, my headphones on, don't say nothing to me. I got a mug on my face. I'm in the store because I'm really the approacher, if truth be told. Don't be coming for me. Don't come for me. What you want? Let me send for you or come, whatever. But yeah, so I think it was this little thing that I had to do when I had to make it known that I was divorced because it was coming back saying that I wasn't divorced and I was dating. I was like, I'm not finna let nobody, lie on me like that. So once I put out there and they found, oh, they was coming like roaches in the dark. They was just coming out. And I was like, especially disrespectful, blog, blog, delete, whatever it is that I need to do. I was like,
not finna get me.
You not finna come for me like that. Look, but keep it moving.
Right.
Keep it moving.
They've been seeing that gym body.
Girl, boy, going on, boy.
The squats.
But yeah, so even all of that, and that's been therapy for me too, even in this process, just, going to the gym and having that quiet time and, doing that thing. But as far as them coming, girl, that's social media. and roaches are everywhere. That's what I consider them, like roaches. Stay over there. I don't see it.
That is so funny. So what's the difference that you see on the outside from our generation of men and your generation of men?
You know what? Sadly to say, I was having this conversation with my best friend that I say this generation, no, and it might be a little twist for you. I was like, I've been really coming across young men. I mean, you got the high boys out there too, but I've come across young men that are really taking on the character of like my grandfather. Like they want to work, they going home, they doing different things, they being creative with one girl and taking, I'm not just talking about Neil and Hunter, but I've been seeing other little boys that are serious, coming straight out of college. I want to be a husband, different little things where I think that my generation of men, they missed it. They dropped the ball. And what I mean is when I say that they dropped the ball is that women have made it so easy for them to not do nothing or be nothing. I was like, what a man that's like my grandfather. What a man that's like my grandfather.
Providing, doing something.
I don't know what God is doing with the younger generation, the guys in their 20s, late 20s, going into their early 30s, that they are really putting the men in my generation to shame right now, if truth be told. So it's truly, like I say, a difference, but not saying I want to be no cougar or nothing like that. Cause I got me a little boo. But no, it is a difference. Like I said, I know it got the ones out there that's nothing, but the ones that out there that are not nothing, is letting pretty much that this is what you get, what you see. This generation is more vocal about what they want, and even the females too.
Outspoken about it.
They are very outspoken about it. But yeah, the difference that I have seen, I've really seen some of the young men take on more of the character of the grandfathers.
So do you think that's because of like daddy issues or something?
Yeah, I can see
Because
that.
I'll say, like, when you said your generation, our generation, back then with your generation, it wasn't a lot of active fathers. A lot of
it wasn't a lot of active fathers, and it did make them act out in that way, especially those that was a lot of them. I'm not saying all of them that was raised as mama boys. Want to be sisses around here. When I say sis, I don't mean gender. I mean they personality. They just soft and not really taking up the load of being the head, like the leader that they want to be. But in this generation here, it does seem, I don't know if it's just because of fathers in the home or they want to be the opposite of what they saw in their home. God is just really doing something with raising up the young men that I've come across, and that's in church and out of church. There really are some hardworking boys out here that say, you know what it looked like in social media ain't real life. Let me get a real job. Let me sit down with one. And it's always going to be a bunch of people doing whatever they want to do. Hot boys, hot girls. They want the whatever the girls,
bodies.
the bodies, they want
Body
the
hotties.
OnlyFans girls, they want all of that. But I've really seen a lot of the ones of young men really being an example. So I'm not too much afraid of what this next generation of men are gonna be growing up.
Okay, so tell us, what do you think people misunderstand about you?
Ooh, yeah. I think there is I'm an introvert, but I love hard. And people, a lot of people that don't know me sometimes they can get a little offended, seeming like I'm pushing them off. But I'm learning how to I I don't know. I'm an introvert. So like I said, I love people. I love being around people. And so the fun Mona, they like the fun Mona all the time.
Yeah.
They don't know when I'm by myself, I'm quiet.
Yeah.
I read. I don't have no TV on. I'm at home by myself. I don't answer my phone. I don't
Right.
do all of that. So it looks like, okay, well, she not friendly or she not really this. They really look for that on Mona 24/7
Yeah.
versus knowing that she's really quiet and
Laid
I don't really
back.
say few words. I have all that stored up.
Yeah.
And if truth be told, that loud version, that fun, extra fun person, it's like a defense mechanism. Sometimes that's how I cope with society. I'm able to be around a lot of people. So I really am quiet. I really am an introvert. So until I go outside.
Right.
Yeah, even at church, I'm the same way. I'm that loud, I'm this and that, but yeah, I'm really a quiet person.
Got you. So
Yeah.
I want to know, because I see you post a lot. I actually seen your video this morning about you picking up that energy to go to the gym. And I promise you, I started laughing. I said, this lady is crazy. So what actually motivates you and keep you going to the gym? Because I know for some people it's hard to be consistent.
Yeah. Again, I trained for a little bit, but as far as, my personal consistency is that, I just want to be healthy and it's therapeutic,
Yeah.
going like when I first started off with the fitness thing, I had to see the six pack. I had, I ain't doing all this working, for nothing or whatever the case may be. But I seen change in not only my body structure, but issues that I had with my knees and health and mentally, that's what keeps me going. Other than me reading, other than me praying, me going to the gym, that's me time. That's me telling me I love myself.
Yeah.
Let me get up and do something about it. Let me stay physically fit. Let me get my heart rate up.
Right.
So it changed from, 3 years ago to now. What keeps me going is like, girl, you got to keep yourself up and healthy,
On the move.
Yeah. And when I put on them one pieces, I need to have it together.
So, let me see. What was your personal turning point in taking health more serious?
Girl, I became a couch potato. I became a real life couch potato. I played out in my head. I said, I get out of bed from laying down. I get up, go to work to sit down. When I get off work, I get up to only get in my car and sit down.
Yeah.
Then I get home out of my car to take a bath and then get out of the tub to sit down until I get sleepy and then go lay down. I say, this cannot be my life.
Right.
And then I had everything I needed on the side of that bed. My drinks that I was going to need in the night, my snacks, all of that. And I was like, girl, you got to do something different. You got to do something different. Yeah, you're young, you have fun, all of this, but you got to do something different. So I said, every year we go on a consecration. January, we dedicate that whole month to God. And I said, for these 30 days, I'm not getting a personal trainer. I'm just going to go to the gym and do what I feel I led to do. I went to the gym for 30 days straight. I lost those 10 pounds. I went from the grandma panties to, to whatever it is I wanted to wear. And I saw that change. I said, if I can do that for 30 days straight, then I can keep this going. And that's kind of what, happened with that.
Okay, so you did stated that you are a private person. How were you able to go from being private to being comfortable opening up with a therapist?
I'm surprised you, baby.
Because that's my fear right now.
So let me tell you, if she was a weak one, I wouldn't be her client to this day. I am so private. I made an appointment and I canceled it. And I canceled it. And I said, stop doing that. You said that on your journey, when you first moved into your apartment, that you were going to go to therapy. And those first 30 days, you was going to dedicate it. I'm not the person. I'm the type of person where I would get the help, but I don't keep leaning on that person for the help.
Right.
I take what you give me and I grow with that. So this is funny. I'll make it real quick. So I made the appointment. I was gonna cancel, but I didn't cancel. And we did like this the first visit. It was like 30 minutes. We was on Zoom. And I was on the phone with her and I said, before I know your name, but before you introduce yourself, let me tell you this. I said, I don't need a girl. I started telling her stuff.
Right.
I said, I don't need a therapist that's gonna give me a whole bunch of rebuttals. I thank God for your credentials and your education and your knowledge and your ability to read body language and all of that. I said, but I need somebody that's solid, somebody that's honest. Treat me like an individual, not like your last client, your auntie. I don't need none of that. What I need from you is somebody genuine, somebody that knows the word of God, that's led by the Holy Ghost. I need these things. Be genuine, be real, but don't put this stuff together. This is Mona Box, and this is what I'm gonna give her when I give her therapy. Girl, when I was done, I said, okay, I'm done. Girl, this lady stared at me for like 30 minutes straight on that phone. I said, because I'm private and I don't got time for games.
Yeah.
I'm paying you this fee, but what I really need, I need real help. So from there to this day, we as close as a professional relationship as a person can be, because I had to put that out there. You're not finna just tell me anything, take my copay, and I still be left in the same state that I was in.
Yeah.
This is how I feel. What can I do? And she was the one, she would give me homework, because just telling me something when I'm dealing with something, it's gonna go in one ear and out the other one. So she would really deal with me personally. She would take her time. And I felt the genuineness to her. And I'm going to share that information with you later. But yeah, that was hard for me.
Yeah.
Because I don't open up. And then when I'm trying, I don't know how to articulate what's going on in here out of my mouth. And then that makes me shut down. So I'm like, how am I going to do this? So she let me ramble. She let me skip over. I'm not claiming adult ADHD, but I skips over a whole bunch of stuff. And she listened to me. When I was done talking and rambling and being all over the place, the whole time, this lady read me so good. She heard behind what I was saying, not what just was coming out of my mouth.
Yeah.
And she had me sold. That's what I need you to do.
Right.
Hear what I cannot say. She wasn't repeating back to me what I said. And I knew that was her. And I was comfortable after that. But it took me, I was supposed to have gotten counseling maybe like a year, and I would make the appointments and just cancel them. It was very hard.
Because that's my biggest fear. I'm private. I don't open up to any and everybody. And that's crazy, because I seen Pastor Mike, he said this. He was like, I don't vent to people because vents go in other rooms, baby. He said that. He said that. I said, that's the one.
I'm not a venter. I'm not a venter. My best friend. My pastor, I don't even go to the same people for everything.
Right.
You know, so I'm very cautious when it comes to that, with information that come out, you know. But yeah, I'm very proud.
Yeah, because I was like, I don't know who they know. They might know the person I was talking
about. I don't. So I trust her with my voice now.
Okay, so this is gonna be where we at. Okay, so yeah, this is gonna be the last question. What made you open up yourself in your home to the youth when you was doing your prayer breakfast and all that? Like, what made you say, I want my audience to be the youth?
Well, I always knew that ministry for me was not boxed inside the church. I always knew that the ones that really needed it was predominantly the ones that wasn't raised up in it.
Yeah.
And I knew that I was dealing with certain kids, even when I opened it fully up, we're dealing with ones that I knew that wasn't coming to the church, that they only went because they was made to as a kid.
Right.
And then at this time, even the ones that were coming there, that parents still go to church, they wasn't going to church because when they got to a certain age, they left anyway.
Right.
But I needed that safe place. And I tried it once. It was like Nia and maybe like a couple of, I told her what I was going to do. And I started inside the church with the kids at the church. But the ones that are in the church, sometimes when you have it right in your face, you don't want it. You know, it's like, okay, I'm here because I got to be here.
Yeah.
I said, well, let me take it to the outside, the ones that are hungry for it. And when I opened up that door, you know, all no matter what it was in the areas of life that they were in, they loved me.
Yeah.
And I said, well, let me give it a try. I'm going to take it to my home where there's a safe place. And I'm going to open it up. And I will always say, you've been there. I'll open it up with what I went through in my life.
Yeah.
Which was made it seem like they ain't sitting in the principal office that, you know, somebody that can really relate.
Right.
You know, so I just wanted to be, again, that bridge, the one that helped bridge, you know, the gap, wherever their gap was. And I loved it. And when I seen that they loved it more than I did, it kept me, you know, doing it over and over again. Yeah.
Yeah, because
so they ready. I was like, look, now I got a little bit more fancier clubhouse. They ready for me to start it back. And I am, because they, you know, they reached out to me because that's ultimately what God called me to do.
Yeah.
I go to church to get fed, but I know that my ministry is outside of the church.
Because I enjoyed it, baby. I was like, yeah, I gotta build this. I gotta build this relationship. Then when I started going to Bible study, and you, it was one Bible study where you had us pray out loud.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that one, and you told us to go in our corner and talk to God and open up to God. I enjoyed that. That's what I'm saying, baby. You didn't help me out, because actually having God in your life is 10 times better than him without. And it's so crazy, because it be like, as an adult, it be some things I really be needing help with.
Yeah.
And like you said, anxiety. I really never knew what anxiety was until like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And I read Joyce Meyer book.
I was in denial about it at first. I was like, not the fun Mona, not the funny Mona, not the pick me up. Everybody can call Mona for everything, but not dealing with you, not making sure you're good. You're pouring out of an empty cup. You know, we cannot do that.
Right.
The best person that we can be to others is being the best person to ourselves. And we got to do that.
Yeah, have to.
Yeah.
Have to. So before we go, I always tell my guests, let's have a Teaful moment.
Okay.
And a Teaful moment is basically you telling the people what you have coming up next, what they don't know about going on in your life.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and drop that tea.
Okay, girl. No, what's going on in my life coming up is, again, I am gonna start back my prayer breakfasts, the fact that I'm stable and I got, you know, everything situated now. I am gonna also start back up my boot camps that I was doing. That's gonna be like a, you know, outside or whatever the case may be. And sis is finna be dating.
Oh.
Because at the end of the day,
Let's go.
The day gotta end.
The day gotta end.
And I don't want my day to end when I ain't doing some of the stuff that Mona wanna do.
Right.
Tomorrow is not promised, you know? So, you know, whichever way God lead me, hey, I'm taking my time and I'm just enjoying life. So we gonna be seeing, you know. And I'm not posting nothing on my, what's the little green circle now?
Close friends.
No, I'm not doing that no more.
No more close friends?
It's finna be just regular.
Oh, on the main page.
On the main page.
I love that. Because, you know, some people, they'll get a divorce and they'll just close up like, I don't want to date no more. I don't want no, I'm good by myself.
And I did not want to. I had no intentions on doing that, and that's a, you know, story for another. But where I am now, I'm just enjoying life.
Right.
That's exactly what I'm doing. So hey,
that's all we can do.
That's period.
That's all we can do. So let the people know where they can follow you on social media. See this new boo.
So y'all can follow me at Mona Saved, like you're saved. SAVED, the number 4 life. So that's Mona Saved for Life. And also go follow my fitness page, and that's Woman Overcoming Weight. Woman Overcoming Weights is my fitness page.
Make sure y'all go follow her. I promise y'all, Instagram is 10 out of 10 funny. I promise you. And y'all know exactly where to find us on all social media and YouTube at That's Teaful. On YouTube, That's Teaful, THATSTEAAFUL. And we are out. Peace.